Hey, what's going on, y'all? Y'all heard that homemade hip hop in the background. So by now you know that it is time to focus, LBK. This is your host, Robert Jenkins, coming to you on this 28th day of May. And I don't know if y'all are historical minded like I am, but I do want to tell you that coming up here pretty soon, talking about this is the end of May, sometime in June, I believe, June or July, we have the birthday of a local living piece of history here in the LBK. And of course, you know, or you should know, I hope you know, I'm talking about Mr. Brady Baldwin. Mr. Brady Baldwin is a long time resident of the LBK. In fact, he is celebrating his 102nd birthday. So I'm going to say happy early birthday, Mr. Baldwin. But I wanted to mention that because I just heard that his birthday was coming up and a person asked me and said, hey, you should probably do a show. You should do a show with Mr. Baldwin. And I said, actually, we already have done a show with Mr. Brady Baldwin. Oh man, it was 2 years ago because the show that we did was on his 100th birthday. Matter of fact, it was like a day or two after his 100th birthday. If you don't know the gentleman, we really encourage you to look back through the links down here in the show notes that I'm going to put up, and you will see that we did a show on it. One of the shows we did, it was about an hour-long interview, so we broke it down to about a 7-minute interview, a 7-minute snippet that we took out. And at the time, me and my brother Cambrell was discussing the fact that Mr. Baldwin used to pick cotton, but he wasn't upset or angry or bitter. He was like, hey, man, that's the way it was. And he said, not only did we used to pick cotton, we were amazed. He said, I got a nickname. I used to pick cotton so good, they gave me a nickname based on how I picked cotton. Actually, it was pulling cotton, and I'm not sure of the difference. That's something I want to explore because he had a cotton pick and a cotton pull. That's two different things. Old folks used to say, we came up here on a cotton pick. My folks came up to Lubbock on a cotton pick or a cotton pull or something the case may be. Well, we're going to try to figure out the differences here. But going back to what Mr. Baldwin was saying, he said, I used to pick so much cotton, they gave me a nickname because every time I go out, I didn't pick less than 600. I didn't pull less than 600 pounds of cotton. So he said, every time I go out, I pull at least 600 pounds of cotton. They start calling me six. I say, that's dope. How do you pull 600 pounds? I can't do 600 pounds of nothing. I don't think I can do 600 pounds of something that feel good. You know what I'm saying? Much less bent over in the sun. I'm imagining you be bent over in the sun pulling cotton. But Mr. Baldwin used to pull 600 pounds of cotton. And after that, when you talk to him, the other thing that stood out is he would say stuff like, well, I worked 25 years for so-and-so and so-and-so construction company. I think he said Kerr Construction. And then he said, and then I worked 35 years for so-and-so and so-and-so construction. And he said, I did this for 20-something years. And I'm adding that all up in my mind. I'm like, let me see, you did 25. Like, that really just underscores just how blessed he is to be 102 years old. And these are the things that happen when you're 102. You work at different places for 25 and 35 years at 2 or 3 different places. You know, I'm like, wow. Because he was up at Covenant Health. I think he used to shine shoes or something like that, or greet up at Covenant Health. And he worked there for some time, long enough to where the governor recognized him. He was recognized by, was it Governor George Bush? I think it was. Which that's been a while too. Man, so it is a blessing to have that kind of longevity, but that's just one of the things that I kind of like about LBK, man. You just have these little hidden jewels and gems that are tucked off in these little pockets, and then people tell you about them. Hey, did you know so and so? Well, hey, did you know so and so? Well, go talk to him. And I don't know about you, but I'm an introvert, right? So I don't just like to go. Well, hey, just go talk to him. Well, maybe that's how you do it, but I'm not the kind to just go, hey, go talk to him. I know. How you going to be a podcast episode, you and an introvert at the same time? But see, really being an introvert simply means that you draw your motivation and inspiration, your power from the inside. You're powered internally. Extroverts are powered externally. That's what it really means. So I'm not really shy. My energy and motivation comes from within. And when I'm out in a crowd, I can't be there all day because I feel like that pulls out my energy. It really does drain me. It's like, ooh. I don't know why we got into the definition of introvert versus extrovert, but it's just what I'm saying. Oh, because we're talking about Mr. Baldwin and how we went over to his house. Lovely wife and I went over there and set up this very camera I'm filming on right here and talked to him for over an hour. So anyway, LBK, if y'all want to hear some interesting stuff, if you want to hear about those times, because what is this, 2025? So we talking about 1923. So actually, oh, that's right, because he is the same age my grandpa would have been had he lived. My grandfather, Robert Lee Jenkins Sr., passed away when he was I think about 80. So Mr. Baldwin has lived a quarter century longer than that. So because my grandpa was born in 1923 too, March the 20th, I think, 1923. Luckily, I got his oral history recorded too. I'm talking about my grandpa, Robert Lee Jenkins Sr., the first king. My dad is the second king. I'm Robert Jenkins, the third king. You know what I'm saying? Third in the line of succession. But anyway, yeah, man, it was a pleasure talking to Mr. Baldwin. And I tell you what, man, we're going to probably have to see, can we go back and holler at him again? See if we can speak with him some more. But again, the interview is linked right down below. Check that interview out. It's really good stuff. It's one of the things I love about Lubbock, because you just little jewels like that, people and places and things just that you don't know about that you become enchanted with when you do know about them. Just all over the place, just right there, in your face. You know what? I had a chance to go to the city council meeting down there at City Hall yesterday, and I tell you what, talking about things I like about Lubbock and then some things I don't like about Lubbock. Well, okay. I'm going to get into one of the things I kind of don't like about the LBK. There's two things that get on my nerves about it. Okay, I'm going to tell you one of the first things, not even that they didn't even discuss this at the meeting, the city council meeting, but I'm talking about the speed limits. Man, I am the type of guy, I like to drive. I like to experience the road. Experience the road. You know what I'm saying? I got a stick shift. It's a sporty little car. It's kind of zippy. I like to drive. That's why I got a stick shift on purpose, man. I roll that moonroof back, pump up some smooth jazz or some 90s hip hop, and lean back and get the shifting, boy. I be enjoying it. And then next thing you know, oh man, what? The speed limit is 40. On this road, you be on a wide open road in the middle of nowhere in an industrial area of town. In case y'all don't know, I'm talking about East 34th over here where it turned to Southeast Drive. Come on, man. 40 miles an hour, 45 miles an hour. I be skating when I roll. Matter of fact, that's the way I roll. I skate. I roller skate when I'm in the ride. I know I need to stop it. They gonna break me. This last ticket I got, I say, oh, man. That one hurt me. It was like pow, right in the kisser. Guess we're going to have to slow it down. But that is one of the things I dislike about Lubbock. And y'all know I'm a Lubbock booster. I love the LBK. I've been away from the LBK. So when I come back to the LBK, I look at it with fresh eyes. If you ain't never been outside the LBK, if you ain't never been around and lived in some other places, all these, in my experience, having been a few places, all these other cities you hear about, when you get there and peep them out, these world famous cities, they turn out to be nothing but big, dirty, loud, noisy, pole-looking cities. New York City, not impressed. Philadelphia, definitely not impressed. Baltimore, oh my God. Oh my God, yes, oh my God. Baltimore, woo-wee. We was intimate with Baltimore. We used to stay up there in Maryland. And Baltimore, man, you ever seen the series The Wire? Dude. That ain't even half of the hat. That don't even, man, they got some places up there. I don't even know how, they just don't even seem fit for human habitation. You know what I'm saying? And yet it be humans habitating in the mud. I be like, yo, what in the world? Woo, this is rough up here. You know what I'm saying? You don't really see that kind of stuff down in Texas too much. I've been all over Texas and you see poverty in Texas, but it don't look the same as it look up north. It's a different look. So I'm talking about, I'm going all the way around the barn to talk about this thing. One of the things I don't like about Lubbock, even though I love Lubbock, they got this ordinance on the books that says you cannot have a liquor store less than 300 feet from an elementary school. Now, I need to go look at that ordinance. I haven't actually read it, but I've been to enough council meetings to know that, okay, this is a thing, right? And the reason they claim they have this ordinance is because they don't want the school kids to be affected by the liquor store being right there. Well, that's bogus. That is utterly bogus. Kids are not going to be affected by a liquor store. You talking about, it was the school in question was Lubbock High School in this case. Right there on 19th is apparently right across the street. Somebody wants to open up a liquor store. And those people were here at the city council meeting yesterday, and they were talking about, hey, we're good business people. We're responsible. We're definitely not going to sell alcohol to kids. And I don't really think this is going to bother the kids, high school students. Let's get real, folks. By the time you were in high school, you already know what you like to do, and you already do what you like to do. If you like to drink and you in high school, you already drink. If you like to smoke and you already in high school and you already smoke, they ain't got to put a store. And they talking about you can't have a liquor store less than 300 feet away from Lubbock High. Well, how far is that smoke shop, that vape shop? What is it called? That green one? Y'all know what I'm talking about, right there by Lubbock High. It looked like it's only about 302 feet from the school. And I guarantee more high school students are probably vaping than they are drinking. I guarantee that. For real. Every high school event I done been to, I see kids puffing on them vapes and stuff. Now, I don't know if they be CBD, fake marijuana vapes, or if they be nicotine. I don't know what they be, but they be vapes. So I guarantee more kids is vaping than you got to worry about kids, going to a liquor store and getting what? And doing what? Really? One of the council members, Dr. Wilson, mentioned yesterday at the council meeting that, hey, I find this ordinance to be ridiculous. Because she said, everybody in here know when it can remember back to when you were in high school, who you used to get to buy liquor for you. And you know, the odd thing is, I never even drank when I was in high school. I didn't drink at all up until, oddly enough, I was almost 21. And I ain't trying to say like I'm goody two shoes. I used to like to smoke tobacco. I knew I was going to smoke, but my grandma smoked, my grandpa smoked, and they were some of the coolest people in the world to me. My dad puffed occasionally, smoked little cigars and sometimes cigarettes. And he was the coolest person in the world. So when I see three of the coolest people in the world that I know that smoke, I say, it was predestined. I literally remember thinking, yeah, when I grow up, I'm going to smoke. It didn't have nothing to do with the fact that there's a 7-Eleven right next to high school, to Lubbock High or the Hardwick or wherever, McKenzie, whatever school you went to. It didn't matter if there was a store there. That's nonsense. That's silly. When you're in high school, if you want to do it, you're going to be doing it already. And it ain't because the store is there. Now, it is sort of true that sometimes liquor stores can create an environment around them, a certain type of clientele. But again, that depends on the neighborhood and really the owners of the store. So some liquor stores, you do see bums and hobos and questionable characters outside hanging around and loitering. On the other hand, I like Ollie's over there on 34th. I don't ever see nobody questionable hanging out in front of Ollie's because it's not the type of place. They don't allow that. It just don't fit. So I think that has to do more with the business owner and the location. Kind of a strange confluence of the owner himself or herself and the location than it is just the fact that it's a liquor store. I don't know. Y'all let me know down in the comments. What y'all think? Y'all think that ordinance is silly? Or do you think we got to keep the liquor stores away from the schools for the kids? Okay. I guess. I'm telling you, man, kids already doing what they're going to be doing. Having a store right there ain't going to. And plus, I don't know what the actual fine or penalty is for selling alcohol to a minor, but it must be pretty steep because they be carding. They card me. And it used to tick me off a little bit. Like, come on, man, I really got to show you my card. You see all this, my card right here. You see all this? You see all this? Oh, joke. Talking about Cialis. That's erectile dysfunction medication. J. Anthony Brown on the Tom Joyner show told a joke a long time ago. He say, yeah, girl, you see all this? That's what I'm talking about. You see all this gray I got right here? That you really carding me? Talking about, am I 21? Ma'am, I am 21 years older than you who are trying to card me. That's how old. Yes, I am over 21. So don't be ridiculous and be carding me. Come on now. That's what I find ridiculous. Knowing how they card me, I seriously doubt any liquor store is going to let some little baby-faced little high school student come up in there. Now, I say baby-faced little high school student. It's kind of funny because this weekend we went to the Estacada High graduation. Shout out to my little niece, just graduated. I was going to say her nickname on her. I ain't going to say her nickname. I almost said her nickname. Well, I'm just going to call her Z. What's up, Z? Congratulations on that high school graduation. But yeah, we went to that Estacada High graduation. And man, you talking about baby-faced kids? No. No. There was no baby-faced kid. We was looking up on the Jumbotron, man, up on the monitor. I was like, man, these look like grown folks. And look at that. First of all, they got beards. When I was in high school at Lubbock High, you couldn't have no facial hair. I used to try to sneak my little stuff in. Miss Mediano and whoever the other principal was before her, man, they was all like, oh, Mr. Jenkins. I'm like, yo, man, don't you see all this? It's dope. Nope, cut it off. You gotta go. We're gonna make you go home if you go. Oh man, you can't have no facial hair in high school, but I'm a Maine. At least I thought I was a Maine. I felt like one, you know what I'm saying? I was a young Maine. These cats at Estacada, and I bet it's the same everywhere. They did not look like no kids. They did not look like no 18-year-olds. Dudes with lamb chop beards, and all the girls got all this stuff, all this baby hair and stuff, what they call it, slicked down to their head, stuck right here. I say, man, my wife say they looking at their favorite rapper. That's why. Looking at Cardi B and them trying to copy their hairstyles. And another thing that kind of get me too. So I don't know, y'all think I'm on a rant now. I'm thinking you talking about the stuff I don't like, the stuff I think about the LBK. And this ain't even about the LBK. At that Estacada graduation, and previously there was a tech graduation where I saw they do this too. What is this dancing stuff when you crossing the stage to get your diploma? You're supposed to be graduate. It seemed like you're supposed to have a little bit of dignity in the dances. What is it, eating? Are you eating big? You making money? Oh, okay. Well, that's funny because you're a high school student. I don't know how big you're eating there. I'm baffled by this new trend. There's the one girl that was from Tech, young lady from Tech that was going across the campus and didn't shake the guy's hand, the dean's hand. And I can respect that. Sometimes if you feel like you don't need to shake somebody's hand, don't give I can't say I'd give a fake handshake either. When I shake hands, to me, that's saying we on one accord. We in agreement. Nice to meet you. I appreciate what you did. That kind of thing. That's the sentiment that usually goes, or those are the sentiments that usually go with a handshake. Excuse me, with a handshake, right? So I guess this young lady at Tech had some beef with the principal, the chancellor, dean, or whatever it was, president. So she didn't shake his hand. That's fine. I can't say nothing about that. But the part that killed me, she went up there and did some kind of strange marionette looking dance. And I was like, what the? Why? Was that a diss dance or was that a good dance because you graduating or what? It just looked. And they was doing they line steps. They sorority lines and fraternity lines. Now, I went to a black college and pledged the fraternity. Wiley College, where I pledged Phi Beta Sigma, Beta chapter, second chapter ever made. And we didn't do none of that stuff when we walked across stage. We walked across in a manner befitting a college graduate. You know what I'm saying? That's what to me, it just seems like a reflection of the larger trend that I see where culture in general, American culture in general, but also specifically black culture is just on the decline, man. We got people that think it's cool to emulate all these rappers. Dude, I come from the hip hop generation. I'm one of the original hip hop heads. I always say that. I love hip hop. I grew up on hip hop. I grew up when there wasn't no hip hop, and then it was hip hop. I saw hip hop be born. I was one of the original hip hop heads. Love that stuff. I sat in front of my dad's stereo back in the days from Montgomery Ward, little Montgomery Ward stereo we was proud of. I sat there with my Big Chief tablet with that big old thick pencil and copied the lyrics down to a song I used to like back in 82 or something like that. 81. That was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. What he say? He drug him down to the ocean because that's where he keep his magic potion. Y'all don't know nothing about that. I barely know. It's so long ago. But what I'm saying is, yes, I love hip hop too. Just like Joan Jett love rock and roll, I love hip hop. But guess what? As a 51-year-old man, as a father of 2 children, as a community member that's trying to set a good example, I look at hip hop today and I'm like, man, this is garbage. Most of it is garbage. And if it's not the music itself, the culture that surrounds it is garbage. That's what I say, man. It just seems to be emblematic of a larger sense of cultural decline that I'm noticing. And I think that's what, at the Focus LBK Show, that's the reason we do this, man. We try to elevate the level of conversation in the community. That's one of our mission statements. That's in our mission statement. Elevate the conversation in the community. And we could talk about this, that, and the other. And, you know, I guess people like to dance and do weird steps and stuff before they graduate. Well, but come on, man. We can't do a little higher than that in some ways. We can't be a little better than that. We can't be a little more sophisticated. I mean, it's cool to let your personality show, and it's cool to joke around about stuff, and it's cool. You know, yeah, we get that. So there's aspects of culture that are worth celebrating. Now, we ain't knocking nobody necessarily, but come on, man. At serious times, can we be serious? There was a time in this country where we as black men and women, we weren't allowed to learn anything. We weren't allowed to go to school. And now we go to school and cross the stage and do strange dances that have nothing to do with the gravity of the situation. Nothing to do with the joy of the situation. And they look so weird. They're not even... maybe I'm just an old man yelling, get off my lawn or something. Maybe if they walked across, did the centipede across the stage and did the wave or something, I'd be all right with it. I don't know. But the stuff they doing, man, to my eyes, they just look questionable. Just about as questionable as not allowing a liquor store to be 300 feet from a school or less than 300 feet from a school because supposedly the kids are going. Come on now. Can we be serious a little bit? LBK, I hope we can. I don't know, man. I'm just up here talking, man. You know what I'm thinking about doing is adding a co-host. We prefer to try to have guests on as often as possible, but we run into a situation lately where we've been having a tough time scheduling people. We have several guests that are circling. Like, you know, you'd be above the airport and you'd be like, we circling, we waiting for a landing spot to open up or opportunity to land to open up. So I got guests circling, but maybe I need to get a new air traffic control team or something. So they can bring them in and point them in like this or something. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is. So we prefer to have guests, but on these occasions when we don't, it'd probably be cool to talk to somebody. I was thinking, I don't know. Y'all probably get tired of seeing my big mug on the screen, but I don't know. What y'all think? Let me know down here. Tell me what y'all would like to see, LBK. Well, now that I've pulled your leg and chewed your ear, how's that go? Chew your ears off? Anyway, I've been running my mouth long enough, I think. So I think what I'm going to do is slide on out the door. But before I do that, please allow me to wish you, my fellow Lubbockites, peace and blessings. We'll talk to y'all next time, all right?